Hi everyone, welcome back to Canton Insiders. Now, usually I say that this series are brought to you by CatalyX Blockchain Manager, but today is a little bit different. This series are brought to you by CatalyX by IntellectEU, and this is basically what makes this episode very special. Today we are going to see and overview the transition from Catalyst to CatalyX product suite, the new brand identity, broader product story, more clearer product architecture and direction, and we want to showcase how we are evolving to support the organizations and institutions that are joining the Canton network right now. And to give some additional thoughts and to talk about more strategical level of this transformation, I'm joined today by Jonathan Meyer, the head of product at CatalyX, right now at CatalyX. So, Jonathan, welcome to the very special episode of Canton Insiders.
Bohdan.
You're a pretty well-known person in the Canton ecosystem and Canton world, but for the new visitors and viewers, can you briefly tell what do you do and how your story with the blockchain manager and the Canton started?
Sure. So, Jonathan, I work as head of product at IntellectEU. I also sit on the board of the Canton Foundation, and I'd say most of my time I spent on how do I help to bring blockchain projects from great idea to actually running it into production. And that's what our focus is also with CatalyX. And that's also what the journey within IntellectEU has been. It's started as a software engineer, building the smart contracts out, seeing also firsthand there's a lot of technical pain points when it comes to production. And it's not just about the smart contract, it's about the whole life cycle attached to it. And that's when we then started writing the first lines of code of our CatalyX Blockchain Manager, which is now shifting into CatalyX. And we're very excited to talk more about to then really having it as a product that allows companies to, again, focus on the business. Let's abstract away the technical pain points and let's go from great idea to running this into production.
Yeah, exactly. Super happy to have you here and to hear from the person who had hands-on experience with all the waves of institutional blockchains and all the versions of Blockchain Manager and to see how it transforms. So today we're going to talk about the new brand identity, the product architecture. We are going to give you a live preview on the website and what to expect next from the CatalyX. So let's start maybe from the basic and obvious questions. Jonathan, what are we announcing today?
So what we're announcing today is more than just a rebrand. It's really to reflect how the platform has grown, where we are moving from beyond infrastructure and node management to really a broader operational layer for enterprise blockchain projects. So really focusing on the full life cycle, where we've started with running the nodes into the infrastructure. We want to really shift that into more of a blockchain operating system that allows you to focus on how the application journey, developer workflow, how to do asset and treasury operations. So really making blockchains usable at scale for enterprises.
Yeah, and you actually were the ideator behind the name of CatalyX. So just out of curiosity, I have to ask, where did the name came from and why did it feel like a right fit?
Yeah. So the idea of Catalyst was always to act as an enabler, as a catalysator for companies that wanted to adopt blockchain, but then also always really to focus on the business value and abstract away the technical pain points to really to speed up that life cycle and not to get stuck into technical risks or POC phase, but how do we abstract that away so we can really focus on what's important? And as we move beyond node and infrastructure management, the X really reflects that expansion. So really everything that falls around it in terms of developer tooling, application management, application lifecycle management, asset and crypto operations. So really CatalyX as the operating layer that lets teams focus on building and scaling real use cases.
I also really like that this is not just the logo swap or brand name swap, but it actually represents what are we doing for the institutional blockchains and Canton network better. Before we dive deeper into the upcoming products and what to expect next, let me show you a quick walkthrough through the visual identity and logic behind the new brand. I will share my screen. Yeah, as you know, we are now CatalyX. CatalyX by IntellectEU. So there is new naming. We are still part of the IntellectEU team. So the same team, the same expertise, the same innovations, but with the updated brand name and identity. To come up with the logo, our designers, by the way, huge thank you to the Bohdan, Slava, and Karina for working on that. You did amazing job. And to come up with the logo, they kind of decided to overview from the high level, like what are we doing for the institutions. And the CatalyX is kind of the portal to enter the blockchain technology for the institutions. It also provides the connectivity between the systems. And of course, the letter X, it represents the transformation and innovation. So this is how we came up with the new logo. This is the full logo. And this is the example of how this logo can be used in different colorways. And if you look closely at the logo and later at our new website, you will see the similar pattern across all of the communications, logos, backgrounds. And this pattern, for everyone, it can mean different things, but for us mainly, we consider this as the blockchain nodes or services or data points that are connected between each other. And this can be utilized, like this, or more nodes for the backgrounds, or even to create some icons. Next logical step will be to talk about the website. By the way, by the time this podcast is being recorded, you might see right now the preview of the website on the development, so the production version might have some changes and improvements, but let's see the transformation of the website, because it's basically the first thing the customers will see when they meet us. So as for the website, currently our website looks like this, so the CatalyX Blockchain Manager. And I think it's not only the website change and logo change as we mentioned, but overall the change in our positioning. So as you can see here, we are infrastructure management for enterprise-ready blockchain operations. And we have two products. This is the Blockchain Manager and Package Manager. Okay, now the new website. Let me refresh it like this. So you will see how it's loading. This is the new website of CatalyX by IntellectEU, where we expand on our positioning and kind of try to keep up with the Canton ecosystem involvement. And we offer all the blockchain operations that your institution might need, from infrastructure management to application development to additional tooling and support. And of course, as I mentioned, we need to reflect the Canton network evolution. So we are already supporting and running more than 100 validators. We have the experience, and this was the right move to reflect this experience and expertise in the brand identity. Our product suite, we will talk about this a bit later, but it's also going to be updated. You might see, for the existing customers, you might see the updates coming a little bit later to the UI interfaces of the products in the latest releases. So don't worry about that. We will communicate this in advance. But the blockchain manager, you pretty know about this, and we had separate sessions for this, for package manager as well. There is new, let's say, kit on a block, our experiment project, which we like a lot internally, and I hope external users will like it a lot as well. The CatalyX Tokenization Explorer, basically the AI-powered assistant that helps you evaluate your tokenization and blockchain opportunities. And then this will be discussed later by Jonathan. There are two new products that are trying to enter our product suite, so we might hear more about them. Yeah, that's kind of the look at the new website. And of course, for me as a marketer, I'm happy to announce that we will have a separate blog from the CatalyX. So currently, we've been translating all the blockchain expertise from the IntellectEU blog, and it was mixed a little bit with the traditional articles. So right now, we want to really focus and produce content that will showcase our expertise in the blockchain space. Okay, getting back to the slides, I think that's one of the most interesting parts of this session, and that's why we have Jonathan with us to talk about products and product suite. So currently, as I mentioned, we have two products that are live currently. This is the Blockchain Manager, the Package Manager, and the Tokenization Explorer. And we have two more coming soon, DAML Agent and Wallet Manager. So yeah, Jonathan, maybe you can briefly walk us through all of the products and say how they are interconnected and what each of them independently does.
Sure. Yeah, with the blockchain manager, that's what we have been doing so far. Really, how do we focus on node and infrastructure management for companies that want to adopt blockchain and leverage that for a business case? Our package manager was really an evolution of that, where we saw a lot of pain points in how applications and libraries are currently being deployed and distributed. So our package manager really simplifies that whole flow, how applications are managed and distributed across different environments, and it helps on the distribution side. And also, in essence, it ensures that everyone has the latest and greatest version of the different smart contracts, applications, and libraries with an audit track on the blockchain itself. So we thought it was a neat fit, not just provide another repository manager, but really something that leverages the technology itself for its capabilities that it brings to then distribute the applications on top of it. And then the DAML agent, that's one that we're really excited about, given that we have been building DAML and Canton applications for 7+ years in production. It's really how do we crystallize that into an AI agent and an IDE plugin, really to accelerate the smart contract development and really leverage a lot of lessons learned. And then how do we again build and expand and accelerate the growth of the ecosystem. And then the last one, the wallet manager, that's more on the operational side of things, where we really want to see how we can make it easy for crypto treasury management. Like how do we make sure that the different departments within each organization have visibility on the liquidity that exists, like what are the different obligations that might follow if we start doing payments on cryptocurrency or with the help of cryptocurrency and stable coins, and also help, okay, how do we plan for funding within our crypto asset portfolio. So those are really examples how we want to expand into the operational layer. And the Tokenization Explorer, Bohdan, that's up to you to explain.
Yeah, Tokenization Explorer was originally my idea, and we brought it to life pretty quickly. Let me share how this works. So yeah, as I mentioned, this is just the AI-powered assistant to analyze your possible blockchain or tokenization use cases for any industry, basically. Let's take, for example, I will just visit the Activo Bank. This is the random bank that is close to my house, and I will copy the link to the domain. I will go back to Tokenization Explorer, and I will tokenization opportunities for bank. If you have more details, you can always specify them, like select the industry, company size, what you're trying to achieve in more details, and your experience level, whether you're just exploring the blockchain options or you already have the proof of concept or pilot in place. This will help this AI assistants to kind of come up with the better solution for you. So let's keep selecting this and just see what it can provide for the Activo Bank. And by the way, if you click on the view all case studies section, it contains basically 60-70 case studies of already live solutions and how institutions used blockchain to optimize their operations or to roll out some cool pilots. Okay, so once we entered the bank, it analyzed the industry, financial services. It gives you a brief description what this bank is doing and what tokenization, how tokenization can help it. Then we have some recommended use cases with the fit scoring and with the network suggestions. So this is Canton optimized and Canton friendly, but of course, like when there are use cases that other chains fit better, it will suggest other chains as well. But it's Canton optimized as well. So you can see what you can achieve. You can see based on the projections and average industry data how much institutions say with dates or what it helps to improve, up to 60% fee reduction and so on. And of course, if when you analyzed and you're ready to implement any of those, you can just get in touch with our team and we will help you from zero to production. Yeah, that was basically the idea behind this Tokenization Explorer. Pretty fun to play with it. Especially, I think it will be useful for institutions who haven't considered entering the blockchain space yet. So, yep. So I like how it looks like the product suite right now and how it reflects the overall the space evolvement. Let's see some of the products. So this is mostly, I think, I think it's useful for the listeners as well, but more useful for the existing customers to see the evolution. So this is the CatalyX Blockchain Manager. You can see how it looked like before. Yeah, domains, participants, validators. This will be the new look. So basically, this is just the interface change, yeah, UI change to reflect the new brand identity. So you just want to mention you won't have to do nothing with this, you won't have any downtime and so on. So this just will be rolled out gradually as an interface change. Next, we have the CatalyX Package Manager. CatalyX Package Manager currently looks like this, and we would like to transform it to something like this with the marketplace to find and publish your packages. And yeah, as Jonathan mentioned, there will be 2 more products that are coming soon, so stay tuned for them, the DAML agent and wallet manager. I think that's it for the presentation. So thank you and get ready to meet CatalyX and to use CatalyX. Thank you, Jonathan, for the insights. Thank you, everyone, for spending time with us and watching the CatalyX product suite becoming live. And before we close this series, I wanted to ask some big picture question. Jonathan, where does this transformation take us next? Not just a brand or visual change, but as a platform, as a product suite.
Well, in short, nothing breaks, but a lot improves. So the foundation stays what we have been delivering so far, but we really want to expand that into more on the developer lifecycle and all the other tooling and really the complete journey that it takes from going from great idea, okay, let's actually run this into production. And the purpose of our rebranding was really to match the perspective on how we want to position our product. So really more of a premium, more refined identity. And like a good example is like the one rule that we have within the product team is strive for excellence and support the team. And that's really what we want to reflect also with this rebranding is our priority on quality, security, reliability, and that we really are the enterprise grade software that allows institutions to run into production.
From my side, since I've been working on this evolution of the brand, I've been working more from the visual and marketing side. So for me, it was also important to separate our blockchain offerings from the IntellectEU and give more power to the blockchain presence to represent how the Canton network evolves, how our product suite evolves. So we are now, I think, at least in my opinion, we are now addressing both the institutions and crypto native players that are trying to join the institutional blockchains like Canton network better. Yeah, that's just shared some happiness from my side as well. Thank you, Jonathan, for joining me. And I think this feels like a right moment to close the first season of Canton Insiders podcast. This podcast is brought to you by CatalyX already, not the CatalyX Blockchain Manager. So, yeah, we started a series of conversations with our internal team about how they operate inside the Canton network. We talked about technical side, Cantonomics, why do institutions care about the Canton network, and we came a long way to showcase our product suite and identity evolution together with Jonathan. So next season, we would like to go network-wide with this podcast and invite everyone and showcase what they're building inside the Canton network. If anyone wants to record the podcast, just hit me up in DM and we'll shoot an episode. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.